Welcome to A Few Thoughts About, the show where we dig into thinking and how it shapes our experience of life. Each week, I share insights and observations to get you thinking. No long lectures, just quick, thought-provoking episodes to shift perspectives so that you can make the change you want to make. Let's get into it. Hey, before we get started, I want to invite you to join me and my good friends Sam and Ellie for some free coaching calls. So we have been having such a great time in our membership and the stuff that we've done in the Live, Present, and Sober group, and we want to share that with people. We are hosting a completely free coaching call. A totally free call where you can join us. Sometimes it'll be all three of us. Sometimes it'll just be one of us. Sometimes it'll be two of us. You never know what you're going to get, but you will absolutely get a fantastic opportunity to ask questions, to get coached, and to be part of a conversation. So if you have been curious, if you've been like, man, I really wonder what those three weirdos are doing on their calls, I want to invite you to join us. There is a link in the show notes where you can go and get signed up. These calls happen once a month. We're rotating times, we're rotating days. So if you go sign up, you will get emails that will tell you when the calls are going to be and how you can join. So please come join Sam and Ellie and I for free Live, Present, and Sober coaching calls. They are going to be awesome. That is it for me. Let's start the show. Well, hello there, and welcome to A Few Thoughts About Keeping Going. I think that's questionable grammar. I'm not sure. A few thoughts about keeping going. I think that's okay. I don't know. It sounds weird. Either way, I want to talk about keeping going. I want to talk about one of the things that if you do this thing, you will get to where you want to go, which is keep going. The problem is, at times, it feels damn close to impossible. So on this journey, and this is true for any change journey, but as usual, we're going to talk about alcohol here. There are going to be so many times when you're not going to want to keep going. And all types of things happen, right? Sometimes we have data points, we have bad experiences where we drink. Sometimes we make up our minds in a way that we feel so incredibly certain. And then we find ourselves drinking sometimes later that fucking day. I mean, to be honest with you. And there are times where we look at this entire thing, we look at how this whole thing feels, and it's just like, I don't want to keep going. I don't feel that I have the strength. I don't feel that I have the ability. I don't frankly believe in myself enough that I'm actually going to get to where I need to go. And so we stop. So we don't keep going. Now, here's the thing. The one and only thing that is going to get you to where you want to go is to keep going. And so often in those dark moments, in those times where we feel like we can't keep going, where we feel like we don't want to or we're not able to, it's in those very moments where we make the decision to keep going anyway. And I want to talk about what keep going can mean. And we'll talk about this in a second. But when we make the decision to do it anyway, what we're saying is, I don't know how the hell I'm going to do it, but I believe that there's a possibility, so I'm going to keep moving. It is, hey, everything up until now hasn't worked. If you're anything like me, chances are you've done courses and books and talked to people and maybe gone to meetings and done all of these different things, and it can seem like nothing's going to help. But nothing helps until something helps. And I know that sounds kind of crazy, but the reality is, for so many of us, this is such a big change that we need to spend time doing it. And as a matter of fact, falling off the wagon, as it's termed, or having a data point is absolutely part of the process. So if there is one thing you need to do to get to where you want to go, it is just to keep going. Now, for a lot of people, they'll look at keep going and they'll think, oh man, I don't want to take another break or do another thing. And let's define what we mean by keep going, because this can also be very helpful. many of us go through this process and run into a wall from time to time. We have a data point, we feel bad about it, we feel stuck. Keeping going doesn't mean doing the same shit you just did. Right? So like if you just said, okay, I'm going to do 30 days alcohol free, and you get 5 days into it and have a data point, and then another one on day 6 and another one on day 7, saying I'm going to keep going doesn't mean like, all right, I'm going to start this 30 days again. That starts to feel like hell. Instead, saying I'm going to keep going, all that means is it means that I'm still in the game. I might change my strategy. I might change my tactics, but I'm still in the game. I can't tell you the number of people that I've talked to that have tried multiple different methods of quitting drinking. You probably have too, honestly. But we try these multiple different methods, and if one doesn't work for us, we don't throw our hands up and go, that's it, I'm done. No, we stay in the game. So back to this example of being on a 30-day break. If you're on a 30-day break and you feel like you hit a wall, maybe the time wasn't right for a break. Maybe, like my podcast series before, the time's right for you to explore, to learn, right? To look around and see what things are there, what's available for you to see and learn from in order to get where you want to go. That is keeping going. Yes, it's a change in tact. Yes, we've moved away from a break toward back in a space where we're exploring. But if you feel better in that place, if you go to that place and it feels good, then you know you're heading in the right direction. So often I see people tell me, man, I don't think I can keep going with this, or I don't think I can keep going with that. And what I honestly say to them is, great. Pick something you can. Pick something you're willing to keep doing. Even if, and I've seen this before, and I've worked with people one-on-one who will start to get close to taking a break, and then they'll begin this break, and maybe the break goes okay or doesn't quite go the way they want it to, and they feel like, I'm just going to quit quitting. And I say, yeah, do that. Don't stop the process. Don't get off the road entirely. Quit quitting. Go back to learning. Go back to observing. Go back to getting to know yourself and your life in this new way, full of awareness, which is what helps you move forward. I just had someone in the membership literally last night say, I did all of this and it was just because I kept going. And she had a really interesting point in that she was sort of celebrating the beginning of the journey, or at least the beginning of when things changed for her, instead of celebrating alcohol-free days. And I loved that idea. I loved the idea of looking back over your journey and not starting to count from that last drink, but starting to count from when things changed, from when you started applying yourself, because there's so much juice there. And so like this person said, she said, I got to where I am now because I kept going. And I think this is something we often forget, right? We have this idea that this is supposed to be a linear thing, that I'm supposed to decide that I want to quit drinking and then actually quit drinking, and then boom, here I am, I'm alcohol free. But if you've been in this game for any period of time, or if you've been listening to this podcast for any period of time, you know that's not how it goes. It's not a straight line. I wish it was, but it's not. And so the temptation at different parts of the journey to stop, the temptation to not keep going is real. And I think acknowledging that and saying, hey, I don't feel like I want to keep going in this same direction, that's important, right? That feeling that comes up that you don't want to keep going, that actually might be telling you something, right? That actually might be telling you that the direction you're heading with this isn't really working. And so instead of stopping altogether, right? Instead of totally getting off the train, retooling and looking at different options is often a great way to kind of handle that emotion that's coming up. And so what are those things that you could do? Well, hell, you could read books or podcasts. You can, re-dig in. If you're a member with us at Present and Sober, or if you want to join at Live Present and Sober, you can do that. You can find a new coach. You can find a new podcast. Like, there's a million things you can do to stay in the game. If a particular approach or a particular direction isn't working and it's frustrating you to no end, and you feel like I don't want to keep going, that's a sign that it's time for a new direction. Not to get off the bus entirely, like I said, but it's a sign that now might be the right time for a course correction, to look in a new direction. Because that emotion, when that emotion comes up, there's something for you there. It is pointing you towards something that you can learn. And the number one thing you can do to get to where you want to go is to keep going. Maybe you shift directions, but you stay in the game. That is the thing that will get you to where you want to go. Well, what do you think? Those were my thoughts on a few thoughts about keeping going. Tell me what you think. Go to scottpinyard.com/podcast. You can send me a note there. I always love hearing from you. This stuff can be really intense to work through this. So if you have any questions or you just want to say, man, this sucks, like, I'm here for it, send me an email, scottpinyard.com/podcast. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'll be back again next week.